Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news the signs of a global economy slowdown are starting to build. But first, in the US, consumer prices increased by the most in 9 months in October, amid gains in the cost of petrol and rents. The steady rise in inflation is likely to keep the Federal Reserve on track to raise interest rates again in December. Meanwhile, US benchmark 30-year mortgage rates hit 5.22% with points, and that's a 7-year high. In Canada, a new analysis shows that higher interest rates and tougher mortgage qualification rules have significantly improved the quality of new lending there. But another Bank of Canada survey shows Canadians think the risk of a global economic slump is rising significantly. In China, industrial production actually rose in October, which wasn't expected. However, retail sales came in surprisingly weak and even below weak expectations, and that will give impetus to new stimulus programs there. One closely watched piece of data shows that only a 4.8% rise in electricity production. Japan's economy contracted 1.2% in the third quarter, and that was slightly more than expected, hit by natural disasters and a decline in exports, a worrying sign that trade protectionism is starting to take its toll on overseas demand. Germany also reported a contraction in their GDP. In Fiji, the likely election of the current military leader Bainimarama as a legitimately democratically elected Prime Minister will be seen as a setback for those wanting to curb China's influence in the region. Details of the Brexit deal are starting to leak out. It seems the UK will continue to pay into EU budgets after the March 29, 2019 separation through to at least 2020, and it will lose its say in the EU, but EU law will continue to apply. Northern Ireland will continue to be in the EU and be subject to EU customs rules, at least until another deal is agreed. And the ongoing relationship between the UK and the EU will be modelled along those lines that the EU currently has with the Ukraine. In Australia, consumer confidence improved for a second month in November, with people more upbeat on their finances and long-term economic outlook. The US Treasury 10-year yields are lower today at 3.13%. That's another fall of 3 basis points. Their 2-10 curve is just on 25 basis points now. The Aussie government 10-year is at 2.70%, the Chinese government 10-year is at 3.46%, and the New Zealand government 10-year is at 2.80%. Gold is unchanged at $1,203 an ounce, and the US oil prices fell again today, down another dollar overnight to just on $56.50 a barrel. The Brent benchmark is now just over $66.50 a barrel. The Kiwi dollar will start today firmer yet again, and now at 67.9 US cents. On the cross rates are also firmer at 94.1 Aussie cents and at 60 euro cents. That puts the TWI up to 72.5 and a new 5-month high. And Bitcoin is falling significantly today, and it's just over $5,646, and that's a massive 10% slump overnight, breaking its recent period of stability. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.